Square roots and cube roots, lesson 3 notes. Example number 6. Given the area, find the radius of each circle. Given the area, find the radius of each circle. Well, we're going to be plugging a number in for the A, and we want to solve for the R. Well, if you look at the R, what is on the same side of the equation as the R? It is the pi and the square. So I need to get rid of the pi and I need to get rid of the square. So if you remember correctly, when you solve equations, you actually do the inverse order of operations. So normally you would do a square and then multiplication, but since we're working backwards, we need to get rid of the multiplication, then we get rid of the square. In other words, there are 2 steps to these problems. So beside the directions, I want you to write down what I just highlighted, okay? Write down what I just highlighted beside the directions. There are 2 steps to these problems. The first step is to divide by pi, and then the second step will be to take the square root. First, we will divide by pi, then we will take the square root. Pause your video and write that down. Okay, let's look at A. Okay, it says that the area is 81 pi. 81 pi inches squared. Do not forget that pi. So that number is going to go in for the area. Not just 81, but 81 pi goes in for the area. So 81 pi equals pi r squared. They leave it in that form with the pi beside it, so it makes these problems easier. You'll just cancel out the pi. So again, step 1 is to divide both sides by pi. By dividing both sides by pi, the pi's on this side cancel, the pi's on that side cancel. So what is left on the left side? Just the 81. What is left on the right side? Just the r squared. So we have 81 equals r squared. And now this problem is really no different than example 5 or examples 1 and 2. When you have a square, the inverse operation is the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So that will cancel out this square, and the square root will cancel out. And you have 9 equals r. So my final answer would be 9 inches. All right, so I took the square root of 81 and I got 9. I didn't put in the calculator because I know the square root of 81 off the top of my head is 9. So again, square root of 81 is 9, so 9 equals r. And my final answer, which I write off to the side, is 9 inches. And if you're wondering where I'm getting this unit from, it's right here in the original problem. All right, let's look at B. So for B, it says that the area is 289 pi centimeters squared. I'm going to take that 289 pi and substitute that in for the area. So 289 pi equals pi r squared. Again, we're using the inverse order of operations. So instead of squaring first, we got that multiplication that we need to take care of. So the inverse to multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. Dividing by pi allows me to cancel the pi's on this side and the pi's on that side. So the only thing left on the left side is 289. The only thing left on the right side is r squared. Now, I still need to isolate the r. I need to get the r by itself. So the inverse operation is the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So the r and the r squared will cancel. Let's pull up our calculator. Sorry about that. All right, so the square root of 289 is 17. So 17 equals r. Our final answer, look at the original problem, it says centimeters squared. So remember, we found just the radius. A radius is a single unit, so this would be 17 centimeters. All right, C is done the exact same way. They tell me that the area is 1,024 pi decimeters squared. We're going to take that 1,024 pi and substitute it in for the A. So 1,024 pi equals pi r squared. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by pi. Pi's cancel here, pi's cancel there. The only thing left on the left side is 1,024. The only thing left on the right side is r squared. So the inverse operation to squaring a number is the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Okay, square root of 1,024, you get 32. So 32 equals r. Final answer, right up here is where I would get my unit from. I do not put the square. My final answer is 32 decimeters. Once again, I did not need to put the positive and negative in front of each of these answers because we're talking about lengths, and lengths are never negative. All right, if you have any questions on example number 6, please let me know.